Okay, so I suddenly got this feeling to play this mantra from Sridhar. So he's a very interesting man who you can find around in Tiruvannamalai doing what he did in our ashram. He used to be the main guy with Ramana statue in the Ramana ashram. And he came there, he told us as a, I think he said 8-year-old or maybe 12-year-old kid. He came to the Sanskrit school that they have there. And then gradually, of course, he sang with the other kids in the times when they were doing a puja. And then later he established himself as the perhaps the most juicy or most interesting man to do this mantra singing. Maybe you can feel it when you listen and look at him. And at some point, some years ago, I don't know exactly, maybe 8 years ago, apparently he was bidding on a piece of land, which the ashram was also bidding on. And so he got the land and then he lost his job in the ashram. So I don't know really about that, but I've always felt he's a very lovely, unusual human being. You know? And certainly this year in the retreat, we will do at least one more evening with him. At the moment, we've got about 50 minutes of him making the mantras. And so we're going to start putting those out because the quality is just incredible, incredible quality. This man has been doing this mantra singing, I don't know how old he is, and that might be 50, let's say he's 50, so 40 years, maybe 50 years. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Maybe I should have a look. I just have to play around with the tech again. I'm sorry. Not that. I always get the wrong place. Okay. Now I got everybody. Okay, good. Very good. All right. Okay. Okay. Very good. So before we do our meditation, would anybody like to comment on this mantra singing? Because personally, I admired this man for many years. So it was very wonderful we could get him to spend an evening with us. But I don't know if anybody else was touched by by this mantra music. And Carly has just taken about 15 minutes of the soundtrack, and added different bits of video on top. Yeah. So as you did it, Carly, I can ask you first if you find this very good, if not special.
Yeah, I completely enjoyed editing this this mantra, and it it is it has such a it touches such a different deep place because it's you don't really understand. It's just this sound, it's just this vibration, and also how he does it. It's like he's completely into it, and it's just flowing through him. And so it calmed me very down in the last days to do it. I really enjoyed it. Also putting these video bits from which were all video clips from us, which we took for in the last years. And so yeah, it has a very deep surrender energy, I felt.
Mm.
Because he's so surrendered in what he's doing, and also to know
Okay,
him.
I think, yeah, very
Okay.
good. Thanks very much. So the next people are just a little bit of a comment because otherwise the whole meeting will go in. Who else would like to share about it? Okay. Durga, you were probably there when we recorded it. Your sound's not working, dear.
I was there. Yeah, when we recorded it. Are you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Mm. I notice when I just sit and listening that I feel the energy in my body and my body starts shaking and moving. And that is just the energy what you can pick up. I find it very touching.
Good.
That I
Okay. Anybody else? What about you, Santosh? You didn't hear it before. You weren't there in India. Does it touch you when you listen and view this? Actually, it's 15-minute video, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can really feel that it comes from a different place, yeah. So,
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
in that film, there was some film of him doing various things with flowers and fire and so on in our ashram with the ashram guru who has passed away now. So he comes every morning, I think at 7 in the morning, and does a puja for the master who's gone. And then when we come to our retreat in the first day or two, we will invite him to come and do a bit more. And it gives us a chance to be involved in that. And then last year we discovered that he would be open to come and do a mantra evening where he explained different kind of mantras. And then for about 10 minutes, he then sang the mantra. We have, I think, 5 of those, which we'll start putting out. Anybody else like to comment? Quick comment. Bhaskar, quick comment, 5 minutes.
Yeah, just to say it was a privilege to hear him do that, and it touched me profoundly because it silenced the thoughts. The mind was just switched off, and I was just transposed into his chant. It's a beautiful experience, and he's such a lovely man, really lovely man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, Krishna, what do you reckon about it?
Almost overwhelming. My heart always beats, and I see Arunachala then behind him, and how he throws the flowers. I go, I don't know. I start to cry, and everything moves in a beautiful space. I can't say.
Right. And you were there this year in the beginning, yeah? You were there.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right. And Aditi, you were also there, I think. Do we have an Indian translator? Sorry, not Indian, maybe German translator.
Ja, ich war auch dort und jetzt gerade beim Sehen, es war, als wäre ich wieder dort. Also ich bin dort eingetaucht und ja, ich hatte die Ehre, ihn jetzt im Januar zu hören und es hat mich unheimlich berührt im Herzen.
Yes, I also have been there, and I was privileged in January to listen to him, and it very much touched me deeply in my heart.
And you'll hear him again this year, is that right? You're coming with us this year again?
Du wirst ihn diesen Januar wieder hören, du kommst auch wieder mit nach Indien.
Ja,
Okay. The way things are going, we can give you your own room this year.
So wie es aussieht, kannst du wahrscheinlich sogar dein eigenes Zimmer bekommen dieses Jahr.
hatte ich dieses Jahr auch schon.
I also had last year my own room.
Really? Oh, you're obviously one of the important guests.
Du bist augenscheinlich einer der wichtigen Gäste, die mitkommen. VIP.
Okay. All right. So let's go on with the with our meditation now. So we're going to do the regular meditation. So sit comfortably for the next 12 minutes. And when you're ready, you can close your eyes and look inside. And then bring your awareness to whatever is the strongest thing going on inside. And it could be thoughts, could be feelings, could be a body sensation, could even be empty and quiet. So whatever you find, just stay there and don't try to change anything. Okay, so when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into the meeting. it's very touching to watch you guys when you have your eyes closed. It feels as if you really go in a deep space. So perhaps somebody would like to share now what they experienced. If you wave your hand, then I can see it. Parvati, she's waving both her hands. So.
Yeah, it was very beautiful to be back here in the house, and I can feel it in every cell. The richness, rich, it's so rich.
Right.
This was in the meditation also the richness. Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying reminds me maybe that we had a volunteer here for 1 week called Anna, and she's living in a community in the south of France where they specialize in yoga, and also they're influenced from Ramana Maharshi. And anyway, she was perhaps going to stay through January here, but she decided to go back to meet her boyfriend and get a job and so on. So, but anyway, I gave her some books to take down to give to her teacher. So she has a teacher from, I think it's Romania, and they have an ashram in the south of France and also in Mexico somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Oh. Oh, God. Okay, right. Okay, somebody else like to share about the meditation? But don't all wave at once. I'd rather you volunteer than I have to invite you, you see. Then I get a feeling we're having a meeting together, you know. But if I do all the talking, it's a bit like having a President Trump having a meeting. I was just watching him having a meeting with his so-called cabinet, all the people that are in positions of power. And it was so funny because for about 20 minutes, he had some notes written, and he was sitting there and he was just reading these notes, and nobody else got a chance to say anything. It was all coming from Trump, you know. So we don't want it like that in this meeting, please. Okay, so
I had a lot of pain in the beginning and a lot of thoughts, and somehow through the time it was just something opened, and yeah, it went really quiet in the end, but it took some time.
okay, well, we have 10 minutes, 12 minutes, yeah, so it's not so long. Okay, maybe just one more. I don't think we've met for some time. Holman, would you like to share something? We haven't seen you
Hey,
for a while.
Joan. Actually, I think we have never met before, but nice to meet you, though. No,
Oh, you didn't
never.
meet me before. Oh,
No, but nice to meet you, though.
how do you get yourself here now?
Through Radha. I was just participating in one of her workshops, and then I was interested to maybe attend this event on this weekend. And then she said, "What about just like first joining this Sangha online and then check how it is and how it is for you,
Right.
and how it's for the others, and then decide." And I thought, yeah, let's go.
Okay, I mean, if you want to come for the weekend, you're completely welcome. You can call Radha and arrange it, because this is actually a sort of interesting meeting, because it's been going for more than 20 years, every 3 months for 20 years. And on the first meeting, if you come next weekend, the first weekend is a lower price, and it's only that one meeting. And if you get touched and you want to join the group, then you have to sign a contract for about 1 year, so 4 meetings. And this is an idea to keep a group of people working together over some time.
Yeah.
And actually, it works very well. So if at the end of this meeting you want to come at the weekend, you're welcome. Yeah?
Thank you. Let's see.
And what
About the
happened?
meditation,
Yeah.
I was actually just like the thought was stuck in my mind of should I come over or shouldn't I? Shouldn't I come over? This was the whole, and I was like just like a lot of thoughts of it's gonna be complicated with the train coming from Hamburg. It's just like, is it too short? And then I don't know if like for once I should like say, okay, I think it's enough thinking about that. What about chilling? And then I chilled. And I chilled.
I think you can get car share from Hamburg to here, actually.
True, but it's gonna be even more time because it's gonna be like the week, Friday. So a lot of cars and a lot of traffic.
Right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
So,
let's see.
all right.
Let's see.
Okay, well, anyway, you see whether you want to after this meeting. Yeah. So
Yes.
have you ever been here to this community?
Yes. I've been once there for the Tantra workshop. It was
Right.
really nice to stay as well. Like the workshop itself was beautiful, and as well as staying in the house and
Right.
meeting the others and having nice
We're,
conversation with everyone.
we're very lucky to have such a beautiful old house, yeah.
Yes, totally. Everything is so kind of peaceful there. Even the people.
Okay, all right. So what happened during the meditation?
I felt kind of confused at the beginning, and then a lot of thoughts came, and then I think I had a full day, so I just was trying just to go over the whole things in my day,
Okay.
and then yeah, calm down.
Okay, so you like giving energy to your mind, do you? Don't want to get rid of it.
Sometimes depends on the capacities.
Okay, good. Anyway, nice to meet you. Let's see what
Nice to meet
happens.
you, John.
I think we'll carry on. No, gallery. Okay, so as you know, well, maybe I will tell you. So I've been working, as you know, on this book with Om. This is Surrender. And we've made a selection from the same manuscript, which we also chose for Who Am I? And the first one 4 years ago was a choice of some of the most juicy talks that Ramana had. So this book has already sold very well, and we've actually republished it. And if you would like to get the German version of Vishara, you can contact O, because we should get the German Vishara. We should get it in the next few days. So if you like to do a whatever it's called, you can we can keep you a copy. You know. And if you would like to get the Surrender book, but only in English at the moment, we shall have it on December the 20th. So there's two new books coming out this month. And you may know that we've also now published in Spanish, this book. So we're planning to get all of them in German and Spanish and possibly other languages. And if any of you would like to help with the translation and proofreading, the book could come out much quicker then, because the guys working on that kind of translation takes a lot of time, and the people in our community don't have a lot of extra time. Anyway. Okay. So I'd like to read 3 paragraphs from this book, Surrender. Okay, Surrender. Bhagwan was answering somebody's question, and his answer was, this question will cease to bother you once you surrender unto him unreservedly. Doubts and questions arise only so long as one has not perfectly surrendered oneself. Only surrender for its own sake can genuinely bring about spiritual knowledge. People try to surrender by saying in front of God's altar, now I'm surrendering to you. Therefore, you should certainly bestow spiritual knowledge upon me. This is not surrender. This is a barter transaction. To surrender is to simply let go of all one's mental cares, worries, and anxieties in the unwavering conviction that he that created knows best how to take care of his creation. Do not worry about realization. Let it come when it has to. You surrender to God wholeheartedly, and with that, your job stands finished. So this is a pretty strong comment he's making, because he's insisting that you can't do a business deal. This kind of business deal, I'll surrender, and then God, you give me, the perfect ice cream or something. I mean, this isn't working. And then he was asked, so success in realizing the self is made possible only if I wholeheartedly accept the possibility that I may fail to realize the self. That one. Such acceptance must be natural or genuine. For instance, it must not be self-imposed, so that the condition for realization to be made possible, the mind ought to stand reconciled to the possibility that anything can happen or not happen, including one's failure to realize the self. Okay. And then he was asked, the idea sounds complicated. On the other hand, Bhagavan answered, on the other hand, it is so utterly simple that trying to communicate it with language or in language leads us into a hopeless quagmire of complicated sounding ideas. Totally let go, and the self stands realized. That is all there is to realization. Totally let go. So I would like to suggest that those of you who've already lived for some time in the community, there's about 15 people who have lived here in the community for some years, and maybe you didn't particularly, especially tell God that you were surrendering. It seems to me that if you've been here for some time, implicit inside you, even if you didn't realize, is a surrender, deep sense of surrender. And so actually the, how can I say, his guidance is that if you can't completely surrender all in one moment, which is probably not so easy, you can surrender what you can surrender. And then little by little, over some time, you find yourself being able to surrender more. So this is a very clear statement from him. And he also, with another question, he was also suggesting that it's a very good idea to practice self-inquiry, which is in the yellow book, Vishara, and at other times to surrender. So a bit of surrender and a bit of self-inquiry. He was suggesting that's the best way to continue. So would somebody like to dialogue with me about what I was just reading? So I'm waiting for somebody who would like to engage with me. Okay, Arun.
Some weeks ago, I did the subtitles for an old interview with Tuli Baba, and in the interview, he he answered to the question of who am I? That he's so surrendered, so he can't practice who am I. He just is surrendered, and it sounded a bit strange in the beginning, but it implicates that his mind is, I don't know, maybe fully gone most times.
Yeah, he's an interesting guru actually, because he actually had been married when he was younger, and I think I'm right in saying he had 2 children, but I'm not sure about that. But that was many years ago. So when I met him, some of his Western students, particularly one Swiss woman who I knew quite well, they built a small ashram for him. And this was about 4 hours south of Tiruvannamalai. And sometimes I would take my students there, and it was a small ashram, but very nicely done. And by that time, he was wearing, like Bhagwan was, he was wearing just a loincloth. And he was a very funny man. I mean, in that interview, there's a few places where he's laughing, yeah. Like he had a good laugh about relationships. Yeah, he said it's like, what did he say? He said it's like having crossing the river on the back of a crocodile, I think was what he was saying about relationships. So and then he had a good laugh, about that. And then a bit later, I remember he had another good laugh about surrender, I think it was. And he always struck me as a very lovely human being, very lovely human being. Yeah. In fact, it's very lovely that you guys are now getting these interviews up on the YouTube channel, my channel. And I think increasingly people are watching those interviews and being touched from them. So it may be that next weekend there will be a woman coming from Stuttgart who wrote to me a few days ago to say that she's had some kind of opening, and since some time she feels very few thoughts. She notices very few thoughts. And she, instead of the thought, she's very much aware that there's a big silence, a big space has opened up inside her. So she was writing and asking if she could meet me and we could have a talk. So I hope she'll come this weekend. It can be an interesting woman, I think. Okay. Somebody else like to have a talk? You somehow ended up in there volunteering.
Oh, how did this happen? I don't know how this happened, but
it's the magic of technology.
Yeah, I mean, hearing words from Bhagavan or from the book, I get so touched. It's like I cannot explain something. My heart is beating more, and it's really intense. So it happens quite often, and with this again. And yeah, that's what I would share with when I heard it.
I mean, I think you have a copy of Aham's Purana, yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say for anybody who's got that book, and all the community should be having that book, you can open it almost at random. Anywhere where you open that book, you can immediately be touched from what he's telling, yeah? And you don't even really need to know, don't really need to understand what he's telling, because the whole energy of reading it is already working inside, I think. It does for me anyway.
I had this, that I sometimes had a question and I just opened the book, and a lot of times it just answered my question. So that's what
right. Because when he was leaving, he left his body in 1950, so that's already 75 years ago, yeah. And so that's quite a long time ago. But actually, he's still very available, I would say. When I was editing these books, there was many nights, it was like 2 a.m. or something, yeah. And then sometimes I would suddenly get this sense that there's some energy around, you know. And I'm not going to say it was Ramana Maharshi because I'm not so esoteric as that. But in a way, sometimes one could feel that I was actually sitting in the room and, you know, it was very personal, very close. Yeah. When he was leaving his body, he told his students, where could I go? Where could I go? Because they all got very upset as his body kind of gave up. Yeah. The last year, his body was in a difficult situation, I think. Okay. Oh, I've done it again. God. Not very clever with the text stuff. Somebody else like to share with me about this subject of surrender? Okay, so we'll do Saraswati and then we'll do Divya. Yeah.
Okay, so well, I'm at the moment feeling that I'm not so available to get into the teachings of Ramana, but still I'm feeling like I'm in a way in some process, and for me it's I feel much more secure in this because I'm in a community that supports me. And this is in a way also a bit of surrendering because it's not easy always to be around with other people. But
Right.
still it's the best thing that I have at the moment. So
Right.
I'm
And I think you're getting the benefits because it seems to me that I've met you a few times recently and again tonight, and I get the feeling that there's something more grounded going on now. And probably some of your old issues are coming up and you can accept them coming up now, whereas maybe before you would rather not something came up because they weren't always comfortable.
yeah, I can also see this, and I'm willing to go on, like seeing more, getting more grounded. It becomes more permanent.
All right. Good. Okay. So then I'll talk with Divya. Are you there, Divya? Just to say hello and then you'll... Right. Okay. I can't hear you though.
Now.
Now it's better, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the combination from surrender and self-inquiry, it helps me a lot to be here. And I can see more and more what's the mind and what is behind this thoughts. And this has a big value for me.
Okay.
So when these thought attacks came, I can ask, okay, who is aware of these thoughts? And then I can do a step back and I'm not involved with these thoughts. I can only see it, and boy, it makes it easier for me.
Yeah.
And the surrender goes, it goes together in a way. The self-inquiry and the surrender. So it's easier to surrender when I'm not involved. When I'm involved, I can't surrender. I'm against all, you know.
Right. Yeah, one or two people, one or two little birds have kind of whispered in my ear that it's possible for you sometimes to be quite resistant. And also after the resistance, you somehow have the ability to let it go, and then you can even enjoy something that you thought you couldn't enjoy.
Yeah. So life shows often the opposite of the thoughts,
Right. Yeah. So when that happens, of course, it would be good to surrender to the moment and not go into some kind of thought processes, or which in a way comes out of being resistant, I think. First you feel some energy like resistance, and then your mind finds some good reasons, Anyway, when I've been talking to you recently, it always seems that basically you're doing quite good here, aren't you?
Yes.
Did you manage to sell your car?
No.
No?
No,
Where is your car now? Is it here or in
No,
Hamburg?
no, it's in the north. It's in the north.
Okay.
My friend takes care of it, and I don't know what happened with it. When the money comes, I have no idea about it, but it's no more important.
Okay, good.
If somebody needs a car,
I think Santosh is also selling his car. We could even start a second-hand car business here, maybe. Be one way of getting some income for the community. We buy some cars for cheap and then sell them for a bit more. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Anything in particular? Did you enjoy this bit of text from the Surrender book?
Yes. So I feel very close to it, but in a way I feel like it's strange in the same time. Yeah, this is.
What is strange for you?
Strange is it's the mind, the depth of surrendering that is possible. Somehow like, wow, I will never get it. And
that's very unlikely to be the case, because you told us 20 years living in one community, now you come to another community. And as far as I can see, you're doing quite well here, and maybe you're doing quite well there, but you perhaps didn't notice you were doing quite well. So it seems that you're very genuine in your inner work, but you also have a bit of a strong judgment against yourself.
Yeah.
Which maybe you don't need anymore. So you could maybe try a slightly deeper surrender, and also in the daily work here. I mean, I think, are you also doing the flower displays? Are you arranging the flowers?
Yeah.
Right, because I can say to you that they're very nice what you're doing with the flowers. So I could notice that something has changed with the flowers. Yeah.
I love them. We speak together.
Right. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Karen?
For example, today I got and then when I realized that, it just was clear it's only stress because I have an idea about how things should be and how, and this is not surrender.
Surrendering to yourself.
Yes. So this is an identification.
Yeah, but you can also see that naturally, without maybe realizing it, over the last 12 years, you've made several steps to surrender more deeply. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and it's very good to see this moment, stress.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sometimes you have to look at what's going on or what's been going on and give yourself a few gold stars, because actually, I think in the last years, you've really changed a lot, and there is a sense of surrender inside.
Yeah, there's a general more relaxing, which is, you can call surrender, which you can call less judgment. And even if things are not like I like it, or
so you're going to have to give up your I like it,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a very strong point that he makes all the way through the book. When he's talking to somebody, he always makes the point in different ways that you have to be really, when you really want to get the benefits of surrender, it means there's no business deal. You can't say, okay, God, now I don't know, want a holiday somewhere on the beach, as I'm, it doesn't work like that. So it clearly involves real deep letting go. And until that is possible, you can let go to the extent you can easily do it. And then use self-inquiry also. You have two things,
Yeah, but it's very strong connected to identity. Yeah, so if there is a feeling of identity, then there comes stress and disappointment and pain and all that. Yeah, and this is but if there is not so much, if this identity is not so much there, then this is automatically surrender. Yeah, because the stronger the ego is, the less surrender.
I mean, you spent about 2 years down in Denia doing the development of the
Nearly
community
5 years.
It was 5 years, wasn't it?
Nearly
Really?
5 years. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Was it really 5 years?
Yeah, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And you surrendered, and I also had to surrender, because almost every night I would have to call you at about 11 o'clock, because you would send me some information, but not until 11 o'clock or later than 11.
Mostly later, yeah.
So your surrender made me have to surrender. And together we ended up doing very good, because everybody who comes there to that place, they're very much touched by the beauty there. This year, for example, we had many seminars coming. I think some earlier in the year, and quite a few when the retreat finished in September. We had during September and October into November. Lots of seminars where teachers are bringing their own students there, because they find it a good place for their particular work.
Mm.
I think we can all feel very touched from what's happening in this Denya house. And now I've tried 2 weekends to get a Sangha group going. And now I'm calling it the International Sangha Group. And for example, we have Basker from England who's signed up for it. And my idea now is to make it not particularly Spanish, but people who like to go to Spain for a weekend with the sunshine and swimming in the ocean and so on. Or in the Mediterranean, it's not an ocean, I guess. And it looks like we're gradually getting people now. So it feels like something is developing now there.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, because the place really deserves it. Yeah, it's such a nice place.
Yeah. This is also a nice place, of course, but we unfortunately don't have much sun here. Okay. Anyway. Okay, somebody else, maybe. Let's have a look. Oh. somebody else like to talk about surrender? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it too much, but I was in, I was incredibly touched by the level of surrender of the Agori sadhu in the story. And I mean, generally of people who came to Ramana and stayed with Ramana, because, yeah, I mean, the level of surrender, how these people give up basically everything and only follow this one pointed direction somehow innerly that leads them into all kinds of strange situations that nobody of us Western, people, we live in comfort, we live in safety, we do all these things, but I mean, people 50 years back, 100 years back, I mean, the amount of surrender is so incredible.
Right.
The trust, yeah, it's like just trusting.
Yeah, I think it's nice you mentioned trust, because somehow trust and surrender are very much a double act, you could say. So that as you trust what's going on in your life more, you can say thank you, God, and surrender a bit more into that. So they kind of goes together.
Right. Yeah, and then all these people that they meet. So on this way, you meet gurus, you meet teachers, you meet all kinds of people, and they're suggesting all kinds of strange things, and then you kind of go along with that or something because you somehow trust.
Right. And of course, when we have a glimpse or something really happens, very often we can see that we were already self-realized, that there isn't really something new that's going to happen. But whatever happens is what is supposed to happen. So it'll be interesting to meet this lady if she comes next weekend, who's just had a strong experience in February. She has an Indian name, so she may be having some kind of Indian guru. I don't know. We haven't talked that much.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Actually, while I'm, where is he gone? He's gone somewhere. Oh, there he is. So what I would say in front of everybody, that Om has done an amazing job recently with these books. He's done all the graphic work on these 3 books, and he's put the covers together, and together with me, we've checked the texts and changed things and so on. And maybe those of you who work with him, you know that it's very easy to work with Om because he has a deep sense of trust in life and a deep surrender, actually. And he's always the one that you can go to, because if you need some help, he's always ready to say yes. So yes is the right word. If you want to go into a surrendering, then yes is the word. And I think Om has had that very strongly since he came here to the community. Avati. Good.
Yeah, I would like to share. I have been on the funeral of my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And I recognized how free I felt. It was many people I know from the past. And so I could feel very strongly that I had no expectation at all. It was such a free feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's also somehow a surrender to the situation. It doesn't matter how the funeral will be, or how the people will be, or if they like me, or if they don't like me.
And what about some of your old friends? Were they surprised to see you looking so young?
They didn't say anything. They were just crying
Oh,
sometimes.
they're crying.
Just,
Right.
I think I touched them maybe with this open heart or something. So
Yeah.
they just cried when they saw me.
Oh, okay.
Also, this I could see, no? They didn't mention something about young or not young.
Mm.
But so it was very beautiful. But the most beautiful thing was this freedom in this,
Right.
which I could feel through this experience, no?
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Very nice.
I mean, you're another person who's been here quite a long time, and you have this job with being the chief cook, kind of, or anyway, one of the cooks. And so you live a bit in the community with a constant pressure to get the lunch ready or dinner ready or whatever, stop the soup boiling over. I mean, it's not a totally relaxed situation in the kitchen. But I think you bring a lot of that into the kitchen. And then, of course, people, particularly my daughters, they like to hang out with you in the kitchen. Is that right? They were there today, I think, yeah? You don't hear me anymore.
Away from the pot.
Now I can hear you, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was saying that particularly my daughters like to hang out with you in the kitchen, and many other people like to. Good. Okay. So okay, Arjuna.
Yeah, I also want to add that it's so nice to see how this trust increases internally. Now, just simply living here is just becoming more and more relaxed and less stressful, less sorrows, less.
Right.
Yeah, it's just becoming way more relaxed in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's
And,
more easy that you see that your surrender to being here is part of the story, and then it gives you the possibility to say yes to another level of surrender, which can only happen when you feel the trust. You know, if you feel the trust in this place and what's going on with the people. For example, this lady Anna, she was leaving today, and I had a quick talk with her, and she was thanking all of us for being so open to receive her, and there was so much kind of simple love available for her. I think she had a good time in this week here, and she really liked the Tantra weekend. But anyway, we probably won't see any more of her because she's actually involved with a teacher in the south of France, which in a yoga ashram.
yeah, I also met her when she was leaving after she talked to you. And she was also very, very sad and crying. And then I said goodbye to her at the door. We had a long hug and have a good life.
Why was she crying? I mean, probably I may have.
She was touched by this place a lot. I don't know what you did, but
yeah. But unfortunately, when she came, I had the feeling she's a really good person and really sincerely interested. Yeah. And so she told me that she needs to get her health insurance money together before she goes back to the community. And so I came up with an idea with Rala that starting more or less now, we could train her to the body work. And then in January, we're only going to have Radha and one other person doing the body work. Yeah. And we will probably invite one of these, well, probably Kate, you know, I don't know if you've met Kate, but anyway, probably we would invite Kate to do a lot of massages. And so it suddenly occurred to me that we could also let her have some money. So if she would stay through January, my idea was to give her some of the money from every massage, which potentially would have given her enough money by the beginning of February to be able to pay her health insurance and go back to her community. But then suddenly it turned out that her real issue in leaving is because she's reconnecting to an old boyfriend she had 2 years ago. So, you know, my understanding is that that doesn't really work for her. To go back to a boyfriend who's not really interested in the internal work, that can only be a big sabotage for her if she's going to get very involved with him. For example, maybe the reason she left today wasn't to make money, it was probably because she wants to meet this boyfriend, which is okay, it's her choice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about this. Yeah, pretty sure she was with him for like in the last 14 years. She was with him like 3 times already.
Yeah.
And she separated and came together like since they were teenagers. Yeah.
Oh,
So she also asked me about relationships here. How is it going here? How is it going? What are the rules? And so it was surely a big topic for her.
Right.
Yeah.
When something like that is a topic, then she's not likely to get very far with surrendering and coming into her own being. It's probably not going to work. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I think your sister was signing up for a meditation weekend today. Is that right?
Today,
I think there's one.
I haven't heard yet, but she told me that that she wants to do the self-inquiry again.
Right. Yeah, she signed up
I don't
for
know
that.
if it's that. Yeah. Oh, she did it. Yeah, with a friend out of her youth that she's still connected with. She heard about it, the friend from her, and then they want to come together.
Oh, good. Yeah.
No.
It'll probably be in February, I think. Okay.
Yeah, it's
She's getting more involved here.
Let's see. Yeah. I mean, a lot is happening in her life, and she's very much in her power and does a lot of things.
Right.
She gets more free of.
What she told me last time she was here was that actually her husband is exactly this kind of guy who's not interested in what she's doing, which I think later she will find a bit difficult.
Yeah, I always wonder how they can be. I mean, he's like my brother more and more like my father.
What's that?
He's very rational. He's not very at all interested in the spiritual stuff.
Right.
But I mean, she lets her going in a way because he sees it's good for her, and as long as
that's fine in one way, but as they spend more years together, I think it will increasingly become a pressure on her that she can't really talk to him about what goes on with her because he's not interested. And she told me that when he wants to have some relaxed time, he goes on his bicycle. So it's okay, you know, he goes on a bicycle and she comes and does inner work or meditates at home. But I think gradually when the baby is getting bigger and she can manage it more easily, she may make some other choice, I would guess. I don't know, but anyway.
I don't know either. I often wonder how they can be still together because she changed so much in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
All
right.
And he's not interested at all, but somehow, yeah.
How old is
What
the
always
baby?
comes from her, she always says when I mention this towards her, the baby's 1.5. And when I mention this to her, like, how does it work between you? I don't understand. Like, I asked her this a lot of times in the last years. She always says, like, yeah, but there's a deep, like, he has some kind of deep love connection towards her that she can feel.
Right. Okay, well, I mean, if it
Yeah,
works for
but
her, it's
let's see.
okay.
Let's see what comes. I have no idea. Yeah,
Yeah. He's probably a good daddy,
no
actually.
idea.
He's the kind who might be a good daddy, I guess. Puts the kid on the back of the bike and off they go together. There's so many interesting bikes. I've been going to a doctor in Cologne recently, and his office is next door to an amazing bicycle shop. And it's incredible looking through the window at the incredible bikes they have nowadays. You know, they have super many gear. I mean, they all look like bikes you could win the Tour de France or something. You know, amazing bikes. Yeah. Anyway,
Internet was gone, but yeah.
oh,
I passed also a shop of bicycles a few days ago with the car. I don't know where it was, but it was a real huge, extremely huge house. Like it's all just
bikes.
Bicycles. Yeah, it's like every single human being gets his own bike now.
Yeah, it's very popular in Germany. I mean, a lot of older people, they choose bicycles to get exercise, I think. But I know one person who's not very good at that. Okay. So I think we can, unless there's anybody else, I think we can stop now. Is anybody else? Where are we? Gallery. So does anybody else like to have a talk with me? Or Basker, how's Basker doing? We better check you out, keep you on the. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, very well, thank you, John. I've just got a bit of a flu virus at the moment. Just struggling a little bit with my with all the catarrh build up in my nose, but other than that, I'm really good actually, thank you. Just a point on surrender. When we talked last week, and we talked about using a different word. It's been kind of interesting where I've just started using the phrase "just let it go," let it go, and that seems to have brought me into a clearer space, particularly behind the mind, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of that seems to work a bit better for me than surrender. But I think we were talking about the Sanskrit word, but I prefer the phrase "let it go." That seems to work a lot better for me.
Right.
To be able to sort of, just using that phrase, let it go, and then everything lifts off my shoulders. It just all comes off. And
you probably find that friends who weren't so friendly will become more friendly again.
Yeah.
Often when we dialogue or relate with one person, it can be that gradually we've forgotten about how it should be together. Yeah. So this expression you have is very, very good. I think it will help you a lot with. You were telling us about 2 or 3 girlfriends recently, and dealing with them might be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of that interview with Baba was when you said about relationships and like crossing a river on the back of a crocodile. That's really made me chuckle. That's just such a good one because it's exactly like that.
Right.
So it's just kind of, but then again, just let it go. I'm not holding any sort of animosity to anybody anymore. I'm just like, it's just not worth it. So just move on and look forward to sort of like lots to look forward to. So it's really good with me at the moment. Looking forward to coming to see you at Christmas, and then having another three weeks with you in India, and then obviously signing up for the International Sangha group in Kenya is going to be just wonderful experiences. So there's loads of stuff to look forward to, and just take each day as it comes, live more in the moment, and let it go.
Very good. Let it go. Okay. So talking of letting it go, you can now let John David go, because I'm going to stop talking now. go and have some dinner, hopefully. So let go. Good. Thank you.